Good afternoon. How's everyone on this weekend? Got a lot of things on my mind I need to get off today. And one of the most important things it has to do with is fighting for your life. A lot of us may not understand this, that for a very long time, there has been powers that be, men, not spiritual powers. Everybody want to be in the spiritual where everybody thinks everything's spiritual, but these entities are flesh and blood. Now, whatever that runs them, whatever powers them, whatever generates them, whatever propels them, that is different. But you have to fight to save your own life. That's exactly what you have to do, family. You have to fight to save your own life. There's so many things in this world today that divide us from one another. There's so many things. And in order to understand those things, we have to point out those things. We have to recognize those things. We have to understand how these powers that come together to divide us. And some people will even know, if you just take a thought here, that even in unity, you have to fight for your life. Let's talk about it, family. Very, very, very important. When I think about this, I'm looking at one way is by dividing the people. You create a mutual enemy and lead a crusade to conquer it, turn it into a life or death situation. The sense of urge unleashes unconditional support. Conquering, winning at any cost is all that matters. We see this in sports. We see this in religion. We see this in politics. We see this in business. We see this in every aspect of life. And some of them will have you not to fight for your life. But that's the very same thing you have to do each and every day, whatever it may be. There are so many things that divide and conquer us. And we think that if we contribute, we think that we belong, we think if we submit to a particular thing, that thing will save us. Divisions are illusions for both the leader and the followers. They create a fictional reality. Conquerors are compulsive storytellers. They use every opportunity to feed anger and violence. However, deceiving tactics work in short term. In the long run, people end up separating fiction from reality. Then from that moment on, you have to follow either fiction or reality. And the reality that you think you may be following may be fiction. Just as well, the fiction you think you may be following may be your reality. Creating a common enemy is the most usual way to divide people. Leaders force us to choose. Leaders force us to choose. Leaders force us to choose between being in favor or against their crusade. Hitler said, our strategy is to destroy the enemy from within. To destroy the enemy from within. How do we do that? How do we destroy the people from within? Let's first start off with the first one, religion. And we're talking about those 5 major religions that most people know of, right? Those very, very 5 famous religions that we all know about. You got Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism. The 5 major religions in all these different sects of the world that divide the people. See, people won't just throw religion out the window and say, hey, we have the same common goal. No, they first ask you, or one of the top 10 questions is, do you follow Christ? Do you follow Allah? Do you believe in Hinduism? Do you follow Buddha? Do you believe Jesus just was a messenger? They try to divide you before they even get into contractual transactions with you, before they even know your goal, purpose, characteristics, attributes, before they know anything about you. This is about power. It's all about power. What do you follow? What do you adhere to? What influences you? You have to fight for your life because there's so many distractions of everybody trying to do what? They're trying to divide and conquer you. Because once you choose a side, you're already conquered. Doesn't really matter what side. Then you say, well, if I divide here, cut here, and I unify there, I can obtain power. And that does have some truth to it. Then if they don't get you in religion, they get you on politics. They ask you if you're a part of the Democratic Party, if you're part of the Republican Party, if you're a part of the Independent Party, are you a part of the Green Party? Are you a libertarian? Are you part of the Constitutional Party? Are you part of the Natural Law Party? Are you part of the Divine Law Party? We have all these different divisions and different sects that people want you to follow in order for you to be divided in your mindset and in your body and your mind state in order to conquer you, thus have power over you. Oh, I'm a Democrat because I believe in these values and these laws, so I'm gonna vote blue no matter who. I have a small bill, so I'm gonna vote Republican because that's the most things that does for me. You don't have a mind of your own because you can constantly be an influence of those powers and those leaders that are in place that influence you because of your subscription to them. And then they have their cronies in certain news media casts, whether it be Fox News or CNN, to establish a foundation of you occurring and having a rubber bait mind in order for you to can be confused, in order for you to choose a damn side. I don't choose a side. When people ask me my political affiliation, I tell them apolitical, thus no argument. They cannot argue with a person who's apolitical, except for the point is, well, why aren't you Democrat? Because you know the Democrats are for these policies, or I thought you had a business, so why you're not Republican? I'm apolitical. I don't want to stance on it. Well, are you a conservative? Are you a libertarian? Are you a moderate? I'm apolitical. Because it's a sign, is it an avenue, it's an approach of division and conquering. You have to fight for your life because there's so many distractions and there's so many people tugging and pulling at your strings. They will even divide you on your sports team. Today, I was wearing this shirt. They're like, hey, how Baylor Bears going to do this year? I was like, I don't know. This is my son's little league. I support. I'm a coach in a little league. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't even know the Baylor Bears last record. I don't care. I'm a Giants fan. Oh, Giants. Do you know who got traded? No, because I don't care. That doesn't have nothing directly influence in my life. Because I know every day that I wake up in this country, I have to fight for what is mine. I have to fight not to be distracted. I have to fight not to be conquered. I have to fight not to be decimated. I have to fight for myself and my family. I have to keep my mind on straight. I have to keep my mental on point. I have to have a high level mind in order to be able to ascend to a greater plane of existence so people can't influence my mind in order for me to be demolished and destructive and destroyed. Division comes in many ways, family. Division comes in social class. Oh, well, you know, I'm a vegan because meat is bad for you, and I don't really eat, meat anymore. But every now and again, I do have a fried fish sandwich. Just live your life. Well, if you guys serve meat, I won't be able to come over because, it get me kind of queasy. That's another part of division. You've been eating meat all your goddamn life. Now that you turn vegan, you want to separate from the meat eaters. If I ever became vegan, eat your goddamn steak, bruh. I'm going to eat these damn carrots and celery and I'm going to eat it up. Stop letting people, stop letting entities, stop letting your leaders divide you because it's a matter of conquering you. There is a point in your life where you have to trim away the fat. You have to trim away the rhetoric. You have to trim away those things that prevent you from growing. And see, a lot of times we understand that there's these sects, there's these pieces of your life. It's like the difference of drinking water versus alcohol. Water will help you grow, alcohol stumps your growth. And use that metaphorically within your life. There's people, there's sections, there are classes, there's clubs, there's spirits. There's these things that you obtain to, no matter what it is. It's either water or alcohol. Water helps you to grow, alcohol stumps your growth. Which one would you choose? They even separate us in economics, in your economical class. See, there's many tiers, there's many levels, there's a hierarchy of division. And within that hierarchy of division, you have other different hierarchies. You have subgroups, and those subgroups have tasks, and those tasks have subtasks, and those subtasks have supplemental tasks. This thing is very complex, but it's very simple. And the only thing you really have to do, family, is take a step back in order to see the full picture. But some of us, we're so engulfed in everything. We want to be a part of everything. You don't have to be a part of nothing. And in taking that advice, you may have the best peace you ever had in your life. Just taking a step back. Economic class. You have those people who operate under the level of poverty. You have those people at poverty. You have low income or the lower class. You have the middle class. And in the middle class, some people have the middle low class, the middle high class. Then you have high class. Then you have the rich. Then you have the wealthy. Then you have the 1%ers. They even separate us with the amount of money that you bring in each and every year. They even separate us with the type of car you drive. Yeah. They separate you even the type of car you have. Because that is an equation which equals the amount of money or wealth or riches that you may have. They separate you by your gender. And in today's society, family, the division runs so deep where you can't even talk about gender anymore. You can't talk about gender anymore. You can't even talk about gender in such a fact that everything you say may go against another gender or someone who's claiming to be one thing or another. I know that's confusing. It's confusing as fuck for me. That's why I don't even talk about none of that stuff, because it really don't matter at all. It really doesn't matter. Because it's just another form of division. When you put whatever you are to the forefront of who you are initially, you are dividing yourself from the rest of the world. When you say I am Muslim, when you say I am Christian above everything else, that's a form of division. When you say that I'm a part of the LGBT community versus who you are initially, you're dividing yourself from everyone else. You want to make sure people see you as a division of what you once were prior to you coming out, whether it be your sexuality, your religious affiliation, your social class, your economic class, what type of car you drive, what work you work at, what business you have. All of these are forms of division. Creating a common enemy is the most usual way to divide people. Leaders force us to choose between in favor or against their crusade. And Hitler said our strategy is to destroy the enemy from within, to conquer him through himself. The delusional leader used them versus us approach as an excuse to invade most European countries. That's what Hitler said. Because he understood destroying a people within themselves. Some people would like to believe that Black Americans are the most defeated group in the world. Because if we defeat your mind, we've already defeated you. We are at the blunt, we're at the front, we're at the rear of every joke. People will even divide us of your weight class. Oh, well, you too skinny and you too fat. He got a bunch of muscles. And family, and a lot of times we don't recognize these things because it has been infused, it has been ingrained, it has been indoctrinated in our very soul, spirit, and body that we are dividing ourselves each and every day from one another. But at the end of the day, the only thing that it really deteriorates is your life. I was just talking to my brother, and we got on reparations, and he was referring to the Moorish Americans. That's a division. Foundational Black Americans, U.S. freedmen, descendants of American slaves, immigrants, migrants, whites, blacks, Asians, Hispanics. It's all about division. The only question that some of you may have is, can division unify you in some instances? Because if you're not dividing yourself from one another, then who are the leaders? Who are the parties that divide you? Oh, I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative because I have a small business and I'm going to do these things for the best interest of me and my family. Have you noticed a lot of YouTubers, they either don't talk about politics or they talk about politics because they understand that there's power and wealth in the influence of politics. See, on YouTube, it to me is a great platform because everybody has a voice. But in some form or fashion, there's really only two types of YouTubers: those who unify people and those who divide people. But here's the thing. Can you be divided and be strong? That's oxymoronic at best. But yes, you can be divided from one thing and still be stronger than you were before. I'm not stating that. And for you people who understand the psychology in that, do you understand you have to be divided from some things? Far too long, Black Americans have been Democrats. Far too long, Black Americans have been Christians. And where has it gotten us? Am I telling you stop being a Democrat? No, I'm not. Am I telling you stop being Christian? No, I am not. The only question I am asking is, where has it gotten us? Are you an individual or are you actually part of a collective? During the election when Joe Biden against Donald Trump, it was funny to me that a lot of Black Americans were going crazy about Donald Trump being a racist, but when the Republican Party started to demonize Joe Biden about all the racist things that he said, they wanted to ignore the fact. I'm saying, well, both of them are racist. When people talk about Christianity, and the only reason why I'm talking about Christianity because the majority of Black Americans are Christians. When people tell them the truth about how Christianity came about, they want to forego, they want to forget, they want to put that aside of how we became Christians, and they just want to believe in Jesus. As a matter of fact, most melanated people around the world are Christians. Am I telling you to forsake and forget your God? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when people present information, factual information, we want to forego the truth because we want to be part of the unified body. None of us want to be outliers. None of us wanted to be estranged. None of us want to be abstract. Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to do what's in their best interest. People, even YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, Facebookers, they forego videos just so they get views. Because what they understand in this particular entity, social media, you only want to hear people you agree with. And as soon as somebody goes against your moral, as soon as somebody goes against your ethic, as soon as somebody disagrees with your thinking, instead of understanding where they're coming from, I'll just turn them off because that requires me to think. That requires to me to systematically detect and break down essentially what they. You don't want to do that. That's too easy for you guys. I'll just turn them off because I don't have to listen to him, because he's going to require me to actually think about some things. He may rock the very fabric of the foundation in which I operate in and have me to grow beyond wherever I've ever been before. I see we got Focus Williams in the room. We got Jermaine Anderson. Nice to see you two gentlemen. We got my buddy Stephen Gardner. He said they want to control you and start first with your mind and thinking. Absolutely. Comparison is the thief of joy. It trains us to feel bad for not having what others have. Jay Darnell, excellent topic. Thank you, brother. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, you are bombarded with division tactics. Oh, it's from the Republicans. Nope, it's from the Democrats too. Oh, it's from those Christians. No, it's from Islamic faith and Hinduism and Buddhism and Judaism. It's from gender divide. They want to divide us on who you decide to sleep with. And what do you consider yourself? You know what? I identify as a billionaire. Damn it. But every time I go to the bank to get my billions out, guess what they tell me? Mr. Ross, the money is not in there. I don't even see where you deposit $1 billion, Mr. Raw. Well, that's why I identify as. So if I identify as a billionaire, I must be a billionaire. Family division. Let me take this somewhere else. On a very sociology level. Divide and rule, or divide and conquer, in politics and sociology is gaining and maintaining power by breaking up larger concentrations of power into pieces that individually have less power than the one implementing the strategy. Historically, this strategy was used in many different ways by emperors seeking to expand their territories. However, it has been hard to distinguish between the exploitation of pre-existing divisions by opponents and the deliberate creation of strengthening of these divisions implied by divide and rule. There's many tactics of division and conquering. My philosophy on politics, family, is that I don't think they should ever show you a candidate until after those policies has been presented before the people. They don't even tell you what party the policies are from. Wouldn't that fuck you up? Wouldn't that really just, oh, wait a minute. Are these Republican or Democratic policies? No. You don't know the candidates who are running for office. You don't know what political party they affiliate with. You will never see them. The only thing that you will see are the policies. You will have policy A and policy B. You will have policy ones and policy twos. I said it right. And you will vote on policy. And when after you vote, then the candidate appears. Then if those political parties are still in place, appears. Who knows? We all might be Democrats. Who knows? We might all be Republicans. Who knows? We all might be natural law party. But no. Politics is a popularity contest between that person and this person, and who can make that person and that person look bad. Religion is about power as well. The best business for you to start in America is to open a church. You don't pay taxes. Think about it like this, family. And yeah, a lot of you are going to be offended, and that's okay, but I want you to think with your brain at this one moment. Don't let your spirituality take off and you run for the hill. I just want you to think about this. One of the most powerful, influential, profitable businesses in America is to start a church. It don't have to be a Christian church, Islamic church. This is a church. People come in your doors. You give them a message. You talk to them. You inspire them or scare them, whatever which one. They put money in a basket. They put money in a plate and they leave out. You don't pay any taxes on the money. The only thing that you have to do is keep the building running. But even though you don't pay taxes, you still file for taxes and get a tax return as a church. It's the best business in America. Family, division divides us in many ways. And the more that you are divided, the less power you will have. Thus, you have no control over your own life. Some of you are not even thinking for yourselves. And the scary part about that is you don't even know it. Have you ever just heard yourself talking and you sounded like someone you listen to day in and day out, or a particular party or a particular class or a particular club, and the only thing that you're doing is repeating the same talking points that those people are talking? We are divided on so many fronts. It's hard to find out who you really are. Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized you don't know who you are? You're so busy living somebody else's life, you forgot that you have your own life to live. You look at yourself in the mirror and you do not even recognize yourself. You know why? You're listening to everybody else except yourself. When the last time you just sat down and turned everything off? All social media. You turned your family off. You turned your friends off. You turned social media off. You just sat there and listened to yourself. What do you want for your life? And when you awaken from your slumber, when you awaken from your sleep, when you awaken from your meditation, you will understand that each and every day you have to fight for your life, because there's so many distractions in this world that's going to pull and tug you each and every way. My brother said on the phone, when he goes to church sometimes, he gets angry because those ministers, those reverends, those bishops, those cardinals, those clergymen, those holy men, quote unquote, when they're standing up there on the altar and they're behind the pulpit. You catch that analogy? The pulpit is exactly how it sounds like. They are pulling you in the pit. I'm not against religion. I'm not against your religious affiliation. I just want you to start thinking, family, about how you are being divided each and every way. It's amazing how one group can show you one thing and the other group can show you another thing. And I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to leave it. Sometimes enemies come in the form of friends. Sometimes enemies look like you and I. They speak the same, they smell the same, they dress the same, but they're just there to divide and conquer you. So family, I want you to fight. I want you to recognize, I want you to realize that everything is not what it seems. And the only real thing in your life is you and your family, which you have to take care of. Doesn't matter if it's religion, politics, sports, social class, economic class, your gender, your weight, doesn't matter. Your race, it doesn't matter. Trim away the fat, form whatever group that gives you power, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Because we live in a world, not just a country, not just a society, that runs off who has the most power. And what you'll soon realize, those people, those groups with the most power has the most influence and has the most money. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.